Welcome back, guys, to the third episode of Signal Times Podcast. Tommy, you want to introduce our guest today?
Yeah, of course. We got one of guys. He's known as the squishiest person you'll ever meet. Most interesting and fun person since Carrie Underwood. When people ask him if he pelican, he said he peli should. And you know what? He's a man of many wins, no losses. A lot of wisdom for this young fella. You know, very young for his age, and he's got plenty of wisdom. Please welcome the sweetheart of NCG, Connor Peach. Welcome in, Connor. Welcome in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a
Welcome,
pleasure.
Connor. Of course, of course.
You know, it's you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself that, we gave you a quick introduction, but you know what? I don't think they've gotten the full story behind you.
What have you told them yet that I can add on to, just so I know?
We've said your classic phrase of like, it's not pelican, it's peli should. And just the fact you're, a man of many wins.
Damn right.
Many wins and a lot of wisdom.
Yep. There's not too much more you can say about me. I'm just that kind of guy Yep.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Well, I mean, we got a couple questions for you. First of all, just starting off, how's it being 21? How's it being 21, man?
It's pretty fun. I can do basically whatever I want at places that, like, say, Lincoln and nieces yesterday at the Super Bowl. Could have ordered whatever I want. Could have gone and played slots if I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was not the night to play, but I could have done it.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of slots and games, Super Bowl was obviously just yesterday. Quite a game. Have any bets riding on it since you're now 21?
Yes, I actually did have a parlay.
How'd that one cook?
Well, I think I missed two. It was Travis Kelce. I did over 6 catches. He got one, I believe. And then Saquon Barkley touchdown. He did not get, so I sadly did not win it.
It's definitely
Yeah, I
unfortunate.
think Saquon blew a lot of people's parlays yesterday.
But I did miss out on $500 yesterday, but I do not want to talk about
it.
Yeah. I had a couple Saquon, 2 touchdowns. He didn't score one. Over on like 90, didn't happen. Chiefs run game really did it did come in clutch there on Saquon, but not anyone else. I'll tell you what. Any opinions on the game? What'd you think? Did you think it was, obviously I think most people thought it was a blowout in comparison to how close it was supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, like majority of America who's a Chief hater, and like I like some of the guys, but I just despise them the past couple of years. And like I feel like, especially Travis Kelce, I feel like they turn into douchebags since they've been winning. Like they're not good people anymore.
Yeah, and you know what? This goes out to all the people that comment on my YouTube. What do you know? I'm the Jesus of being right yet again. Mahomes is dog shit. Chiefs suck. Go ahead, send your comments, but I'm right yet again. I might as well just get a tattoo that says I'm right because it happens so often. But yeah, no, just I couldn't agree more. The teams are just
satisfying to watch the Chiefs get pummeled.
Yeah. I may have lost $50, but I was happy.
Also, my white boy Cooper DeJean gotta represent us.
And as a student at the University of Iowa, I don't think I've seen a room get louder than watching that pick 6 get returned. That was, been a day one with him, so it's glad to see first year in the NFL, him already scoring first touchdown, Super Bowl, everything.
If you think about it, he's like our Jackie Robinson for football.
He really is the exciting white duo that the Eagles have. It's great to see on the defense. Some white corners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a guy.
He's good to see it happen. But you know what? Other than just the Super Bowl, we'll probably talk about it a bit more. All the MVPs, offensive rookie, all the rewards came out. Any surprises in your opinion?
To be honest, not really. I kind of figured, crap, who's that one rookie for the Washington, the quarterback?
Hold on,
I can't think of his name.
Let me text Ryan real quick. I think he knows.
Yeah, text Ryan really quick.
Yeah, right on that.
Ryan says Hayden
I think
Smandles.
I think there's no surprise he was winning Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw people
and
type
then,
out like Bo Nix, but honestly, Bo Nix wasn't getting it. There was no rookie that deserved it more than him.
yeah. But what did surprise me was who was it? I think it was Patrick Surtain for defensive player.
Yeah, no, it's surprising.
I'm surprised he got it over Myles Garrett or T.J. Watt.
You know what
Because
though?
both those guys.
Yeah.
What was that?
I was just saying, you know what, he did. I think he had one of the best lockdown just like percentages of like wide receiver ones getting little catches off him. So fair play to him.
No, yeah.
He did lock down on probably every receiver he matched up with. Barely little. I think even like Jamar Chase, who just was outstanding this year, didn't really come up on him.
Yeah.
You know what? You know who did get snubbed though? Cooper DeJean of Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'll tell you what. Not a guy deserving more.
Gonna say that.
What a snub.
He should have won that.
You know what? But he had a game. Super Bowl, birthday, first touchdown, first Super Bowl, just all that stacking into one. You know what? He definitely played really hard there.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. If he's that good, I hope he continues to play that good for the rest of his career after his first year.
You know, he's already made me contemplate buying a Cooper DeJean Eagles jersey just after that game alone. That was just incredible.
Yeah.
Probably one of the only
from your college.
Players. Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't be a bad decision.
No. I have a George Kittle, Iowa one. I think a Cooper DeJean Eagles would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
But you know what? Back on the NFL, some more things about the award show. Just wanted to talk about the highlight of the Snoop Dogg appearance on that show. And as well as Jefferson's speech, I thought was also pretty entertaining.
Yeah, he was definitely not there. Like, he was there, but he also was not there at all.
No. I don't think the teleprompter was failing. I think it was Jefferson's brain. And you know what?
Yeah.
Fair play to him. If you're in the back with Snoop Dogg, what do you think is going to happen?
Oh yeah, exactly. I think for me the highlight when I started laughing the most was when Snoop Dogg and Jelly Roll both walked out in uniforms. I was dying laughing of looking at Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Because his rolls were out of the uniform.
I'll tell you what, he'd be good on the D line or probably on the O line. Put him at center. I don't think anyone's getting by him.
I agree. Who was he? The Steelers? I think he was dressed up as Steelers.
Yeah. I think they were both Steelers.
No,
Snoop Dogg was Steelers.
Titans. I think Snoop Dogg was Steelers.
Yeah.
But the Titans do need him after this atrocious year.
Yeah, and they've just Titans. They're gonna need a rebuild. Patriots need a rebuild. New York. I think they recently told Aaron Rodgers they're done with him. What do you think?
Yeah,
of that?
I saw that today. I think that just happened either today or yesterday.
Yeah, I believe it was either
yesterday.
He's
finally gonna retire?
I hope he does. He hasn't been good the past couple of years, in my opinion.
But
yeah, I think he's done.
In hindsight, he does have the opportunity to do the funniest thing and follow the direct Brett Favre path line of becoming a Packers, Jets, to then Vikings QB if he signs free agency with the Vikings, although I think he's done.
Vikings do need a QB unless J.J. McCarthy comes back better than ever.
Yeah. I don't know. Sam Darnold was pretty he obviously shit the bed massively in their playoff game, but
somebody will probably pick up Sam Darnold.
Darnold will have a couple more years after that game or after his year.
He's youngish too. He hasn't been in the league for a long time.
Yeah. I think he was the third string quarterback last year for the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
So it didn't go.
Yeah.
It was McCarthy.
I believe so.
McCarthy injured preseason. And I blanking on who was starting right behind him.
No, for last year it was Josh something. He was a NASA worker. Do you guys remember that guy? I don't know.
I'm blanking.
I don't remember his last name. But then it was Sam Darnold, and he didn't do great last year. But this year he did fantastic.
Yeah.
This was the first year Kirko Chains was on the Falcons, right? He was starting last year for Vikings. Yeah.
Then he got injured,
Arnold
and then
was third string.
Yeah.
And then Michael Penix got some time to show after Kirko was out for a bit. That or just I mean obviously end of the season they're trying out the rookie QB. But how about them Bears? I think they'll be doing good next year. I'm calling it Super Bowl Bears. It's gonna happen.
I think I called that too yesterday or a couple days ago. I forgot when it was.
I've been telling me, quote me, Super Bowl Bears 2025. It's gonna happen. And speaking of Super Bowl,
DeAndre Swift touchdown next year.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. Swift to the Super Bowl. But back on that, Kendrick performed. What do you think of the halftime show? Obviously, a lot of people talking about it.
Well, sadly, where we were for it, I couldn't hear anything because we were at a sports bar, so everyone was super loud during it. But I personally like Kendrick, but I heard that he did not play a lot of good songs. There's all of the stars, or he played Like Us, and there's another one that I heard. But other than those, I have not heard a single song.
Yeah, I think the most notable that I gathered from it was probably my favorite three he played were Luther, All the Stars, and then not like Us is so just like overplayed now, but the way it was performed really well. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
And you know what? He did also play like Humble and DNA, which were both DNA. Yeah, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, that was the last one I was thinking of. I couldn't think of the name for some reason.
Yeah. But you know what? It was pretty good. Obviously, I think he's winning the rap beef between Drake with that one.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I pretty much ended it in my opinion. That's a crazy. He's getting a lawsuit for sure. I don't think there's any way it doesn't end with a lawsuit.
I don't think Drake can come back after that.
No.
First the Grammys, everyone's singing along, and then the Super Bowl, everyone's singing along.
Yeah. And that just the amount of niche references in it, like Serena Williams crip walking to like the A minor chain and just like straight up staring in the camera was just wild shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know
Sounds like Kendrick did that more for the message, the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's what people were saying and all this message stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people talk about political stuff, but who gives a shit? I'm here to watch football and a guy perform music.
The Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah. There's no change gonna happen.
Couldn't hear.
Yeah. It was pretty quiet to be fair, but I think that's just the general noise and things. But I mean, honestly,
I genuinely thought people were gonna be quiet for it. I don't know why, but I didn't expect people just to be conversating super loud in it.
I mean, in hindsight, at a sports bar, no one gives a shit about the halftime show. You're there for the game at that point.
Yeah, I guess I should have expected that.
I did say we should leave early and go to the house we went after, but another coworker said no. They're gonna play it super loud. They did not play it super loud.
No.
Fancy that.
They might have quieted it.
But just leaving the Super Bowls on final notes, I was pretty surprised by the outcome. I thought it was gonna be a good game. I thought Eagles were gonna win in my opinion because this is the most poverty Chiefs team I think I've ever seen make it to the Super Bowl. But getting blown out, scoreless up until the third, I thought was just wild for them.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be a blowout, but I was thinking it was gonna be the other way. Like, I know that Eagles were like a good team this year, but I thought the Chiefs are gonna have their way, even though they weren't that good this year.
Yeah, but you know what? That's enough about Super Bowl. I think we've talked about it a bit. I mean, we're gonna run in a circle here. Let's talk about shit that matters. Stuff that's affecting the economy, stuff that's affecting what's going on nowadays. Pollution's rising. The world's coming to a crisis. And you know what? This idea has been brought to my attention. I'm gonna let Gavin take it away. I think he knows where I'm going with this one.
Of course. So in school we did a 28th Amendment project, creating your 20th Amendment, and a fellow classmate thought it would be smart to go back to riding horses, and I just wanted to mention how fucking retarded that is.
Yeah.
That would just be the stupidest thing ever. I don't think it would ever work out. And I just couldn't believe that people were actually on board with that idea.
Any thoughts, Connor?
I can't believe people agree to that either. That actually blows my mind if someone comes up with that. What was the exact bill that they wanted to implement?
I like that bill.
Some
Oh,
oh,
Glimpses of foresight here.
it was something to do with everybody should own a horse and be able to ride the horse on freeways.
Yeah. And you know what? May I just
oh.
say, how fucking stupid are you? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you think the people of fucking the U.S. are gonna be like, yeah, let's all trade our cars in for horses? Yeah. Fucking good luck.
Let me just leave my horse out at my work for 6 hours.
Yeah, let me go cross
on
the
a
border to
post.
Canada while they're driving their motor vehicles on my steed, and carriage. Like,
So stupid.
what foresight did you have? Like, oh, everyone's gonna love this. Horses instead of cars. Fucking, what do we make the highways for? Like,
I can see horses or cars, but if they're on the roads, I'd old people going the same or the speed limit. You have to go at least 5 over.
Yeah.
you know what? I get the Amish ride horses. I get they do that. That's a different lifestyle. But just Gavin brought
Yeah.
up the great point, and I'm gonna highlight it as well. What is the other world gonna think when they look at the U.S. and they're like, "Look at these idiots on the horses right now." Yeah, let me just get a load of these dumbasses on horses. Look at it, they're really solving the pollution crisis right now on their horse. Like,
Just seeing your fellow friend go into school on a fucking horse. I mean, like, it's just.
yeah, hold on, let me go park Carrot while I go to class. Like, what are you? What the fuck did you think was gonna happen? Sorry, I was late, teacher. I was tying up my steed on the fence post outside.
And like
Like-
part of the amendment was every like business had to accommodate to it, so they all had to have like posts out, and like, man, that would be the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it really just blew my mind the amount of stupidity in that. I heard you guys didn't vote in the class for obvious reasons because of the immediate shutdown the bill would
Yeah.
get. Yeah.
I do have a question. Was this for Gov or AP Gov?
Normal gov.
Because I was in AP Gov my senior year, and our bills we actually had to turn into the state legislative or whatever, so we turned it into the actual government. And
Yeah, I
they're
believe
thinking about making our bills a real thing.
for my AP Gov class, it was something similar along the lines of like you had to email a representative somewhere along the government path line. Like, you know what I mean? Like a state representative or a Senate representative, like your bill, which I feel bad for whoever got my bill that I should own a lion. I apologize to that. But yet again, in hindsight, it's more realistic than fucking trading my Toyota in for a fucking horse. Like,
So stupid.
get a load of Debbie in the back on her horse. Fucking idiot. Just.
I thought I had a good bill, but that hearing this just pisses me off of the stupid ideas that people come up with nowadays.
And the crazy part is my idea is more realistic than this dumbass that's like, let's own a fucking horse. But you know what? That's enough on that. And, obviously controversy on that idea. And speaking of controversy, a little rapper, some would say the greatest rapper of our time, had a little bit of a spree on the internet recently. And you know what? I just wanted to hear thoughts on it. Obviously, we're talking about Kanye West. Connor, just want to hear your opinion on this guy.
Well, I like him again because clearly you guys did not see he was just joking. He tweeted everything was a social whatever. Like, he was just joking about everything. He loves everyone, especially fat bitches. His words.
Yeah.
His words.
Do you think the damage is going to be done by what he's tweeted, or do you think it's going to be one of those where within a week people are going to kind of forget about this?
Kanye will never die, in my opinion.
I think he's been like in trouble for the past like year, ever since he became the fake Kanye.
Mhm.
So I think he's just. I don't think he can dig himself deeper.
No.
He's been saying these things for a while now.
And honestly, I think it's proving the point if you got to disconnect the artist with the music. You can't connect them two sometimes. because
Yeah.
obviously he made Graduation, so I mean you can't really hate him. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you know what? On the thought of Kanye, I thought of a little fun mini game we could play right now. I decided to pull up some quotes here, and this game is called Kanye or Famous 1940 Dictator. I think you're getting the gist here. I got a couple quotes here to my left. I'm just gonna read it out, and you're gonna shot in the dark. Who said the quote? Kanye or Famous 1940s Dictator? Obviously, if anything's bad in it, I'm gonna censor it, so it's gonna be context clues on what was said. But yeah, are you guys ready to start this little game I have?
I'm ready.
All right, ready for our first quote? The Jews are still poisoned between me and my audience.
I'm going with Kanye here.
I'm
Kanye,
gonna go with Kanye in this one.
you're both correct. That was a Kanye quote from his recent Twitter exchange that happened. All right, and now we're on to the next one. Quote number 2. What luck for governments that the people are stupid.
Will you say that again?
What luck for governments that the people are stupid.
As Hitler, I think.
I'll agree with that.
All right, famous 1940 dictator? Yep,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Yeah.
2 for 2. You're looking off at a strong start here. All right, quote number 3. Terrorism is the political weapon founding drives between people harder than a fear of sudden death.
I'm gonna say Kanye. I feel like I've seen this before.
Yeah, I think that's a Kanye comment.
A Kanye one? Well, you guys are wrong on that. That was famous 1940 dictator. I know, it was a tricky one. Now,
I think Kanye would agree with that one, though.
Now, speaking of tricky ones, next quote, quote number 4. I'm a NZI.
Kanye.
Kanye, even though they probably both said that.
That was Kanye. They probably both have quoted it, but Kanye quoted it more recently. Another, and then we're on to quote number 4. You guys are shooting what? 4 for 5 or 4? No, 3 for 4 right now. On to quote number 5.
Yeah.
All right, here's the quote. I'd rather be a colonizer than to be colonized.
Again, I'm going with Kanye there.
Connor's going
I'm gonna
Kanye.
go with Kanye.
And you guys are right. Yep. That is what? 4 for 5 on the quotes. And then the last one.
So it's pretty good.
The last quote. The H cost is the solution to the Jews' final question. It's a
I
tricky
feel
one.
like both of them could have said it. I'm gonna go with famous 1940s dictator though.
I agree
Wait.
with Kanye.
Famous 1940 dictator. You guys are both going with that?
Yeah.
Gavin, cue the golf claps because you got that last one correct. Shooting 5 for 6 from the range. That's pretty good. Just a little fun little game I wanted to mix in here, you know, with obviously Kanye's recent Twitter exchange. Not good. Definitely hard. It's going to be at least a month before, you know, I see another Kanye edit. But
I believe there's a certain flag on Yeezy.com right now too.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys knew about that.
there's a lot of merch that's out right now of a certain symbol of Kanye. Yeah, but enough about Kanye. You know, he's obviously digging a hole right now. He's got to put down the shovel. He's got to put down the shovel, which is hard for him to do. But you know what? We had obviously we all work in a movie theater, so we had some movie questions, a little TV show questions here. Just, you know, a lot of movies coming out this year. You know, first of all, Captain America, Paddington, Fantastic Four. What are your thoughts of these movies that you've seen so far, or trailers for?
No, I'm not a Marvel hater. I actually am looking forward to the Marvel movies this year. Fantastic Four looks great. I'm excited for it. Captain America, it reminds me of The Winter Soldier. So, and that movie is probably one of the best Marvel movies ever made. And then, what's the other one that there's a new trailer? I can't think of it.
Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thunderbolts.
That one looks pretty good.
That movie, it does look really good. I'm glad that they're going to do the Sentry, like his two sides of him, good and bad. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and I was personally surprised with how Thunderbolts looked. I was kind of expecting another like Black Widow movie, to be honest, where it's just kind of shit, you know. But
Yeah,
it looks pretty good from the trailers, and same with Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four looks really good. Like that looks like a movie I would want to watch in theaters, and it's kind of rare nowadays for a Marvel movie.
yeah.
Mhm.
But you know what? On the topic of like superheroes, movies, and all that, uh, I just want to get a thought on it. I want to talk about it because it's probably my favorite show right now. Invincible. You're watching it or no?
Yes, after I think it was the second season, second or first or second season. Me and my brother actually bought all the comic books, so I read those while waiting in between seasons, and I can't wait for what's to come for you guys if you have
Hmm.
not read the comic books.
I haven't personally read it, but I know of basically how this season's supposed to play out, unless it's a filler season that they end with. But I'm kind of excited to see what happens. I mean, obviously, I could say Conquest. I could say that name because that's not really spoiling too much. I think that's
Yeah,
pretty
he's
well known.
already been in the show.
Yeah, but like I'm excited to see that how that plays out, and so far from what I've seen from the comics and how they've adapted it in this season, it's really really good in my opinion.
Yeah, it's almost other than a few characters that they haven't shown yet,
Hmm.
it's almost a one for one with the comics.
Yeah, which
And
usually is pretty rare nowadays with the shows.
yeah, I agree.
Yep.
But the comics in general is, I'd say, close to a masterpiece. And so far, the show is just as good.
Yeah, I need to personally read the comics. I haven't read it yet. I'm not usually a big comic person, so I haven't gone into it. But
Yeah,
Invincible has kind of changed my mind just off the fact of like I don't think I want to wait much longer for it. Like it is quite literally peak.
yeah. And it just gets better the more you go on.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I'm glad with the whole Adam Eve Invincible, they didn't just play that out. I think in the comics it's similarly like pretty quickly turn around. But I'm glad it's not your normal show where it took like fucking 4 seasons for that shit to happen.
Yeah,
I think I would have lost my mind if that was the case.
yeah, yeah. But I was gonna say something. I don't want to spoil if anyone has not watched the new season yet. But this season is the later this season, it's gonna get very insane very quickly.
Yeah.
I'll
I
just say that.
I know what you're talking about and let's just say war. But
Yeah,
you know what? One thing I will talk about cuz it's out right now. Oliver's a fucking menace. I fuck with him.
yeah.
I see a lot of hate. I fuck with him though.
Oliver is one of those characters you have a love-hate relationship with because,
Mhm.
like as you said, he's a menace, but he also turns into kind of a like loser, kind of.
Yeah.
But he still remains a menace.
Right now he's chill. Obviously it'll change a
Yeah.
little bit, but right now he's the menace and you fuck with him. Uh But you know what? Just since you're a fan of it, you used to watch the comments. I just want to hear, if you got a favorite character from the show, or if you're leaning towards, if you can't pick one, if you got a couple that you like.
Well, from the show, I would say Alan, but from the comics, I'd say Battle Beast. Everyone's
Hmm.
been introduced to Battle Beast already, so I
Yeah.
can say his name.
Hmm.
But he's a fucking dog. What can I say?
Hmm. Yeah. He's just one of the only ones that could do damage to a Viltrumite. So that shit's pretty sick.
Let's just say he's a final boss that was introduced at the very start of the game. If it was a video game.
Yeah. But you know what? That's all Invincible, really. I mean, obviously, I fucking hate that I watched all the episodes so early, so now I'm waiting a week every week to
Yeah.
watch a new one. But show's peak. You got to go watch it if you haven't. But we're gonna move on to our next topic, and I'm gonna let Gavin take the leanway here on it. And let's just say it's two great minds in discussion here. And I see Gavin looking it up just to make sure. And yes, it is the smartest people we have currently of the 2020s. And I see Connor's looking it up just to make sure we're talking about the same thing.
Yep. Theo Vaughn and Antonio Brown on the same podcast. The combo we knew we needed, really. So much to talk about with that podcast. I don't think Connor saw, but I know Tommy saw quite a bit of it. it was off the rails immediately. Antonio Brown was feeling himself, and he has a lot to say about our government. What do you think about Antonio Brown, Connor?
I used to like him, and then obviously I think it was the Bucks he left. He quit mid game. Um, I liked him a little bit more since Tom Brady was the QB, and then after the pool incident, I didn't like him. So he's just kind of a person to me now.
That's pretty fair. What are your thoughts on the? Obviously, when you're talking Antonio Brown, I gotta feel like you gotta bring up the cracker of the awards and all that, because at that point, I think that's what he's known for more than football. At this point of his life career. What are your thoughts on those? What are your thoughts?
Well, I haven't seen too much. I think it was Caitlin Clark. I think Trump had one. So just by those two alone, I kind of like them because obviously it's Caitlin Clark and Trump. Like who dislikes both of those? I don't think anyone can.
I think everybody loves both of them.
They're two great,
I
and
agree.
I would say adding on to that list, the winner of the Cracker of the Year for comedy or funniest person, I think it was Shane Gillis. I think I would toss onto the list. I can't hate him.
That's a good one too.
But
what I found funny with that was Kanye West was nominated, or not Kanye West. Kevin Hart was nominated for that.
For White Person of the Year.
For funniest cracker of the year, yeah.
Little irony there. It was but back on the Theo Von and Antonio Brown, it really was. I watched about a good 10 minutes of it. Wow. I think like my brain decayed for those 10 minutes. It was just incredible.
Yeah, not a lot of smarts circling the room, but Theo Von's hilarious and Antonio Brown is off the rails, so
yeah, and I believe they used the word correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was conspiracy? Conspiracy?
Yeah.
Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Conspiracy, I believe it was.
Conspiracy.
In reference to conspiracy, instead of that, it was conspiracy. So, just Antonio Brown's intellect is off the
unnecessary
charts.
every way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I'm gonna guess there's a lot of words spoken, but nothing actually said during that podcast.
You know what? And you've summed it up for all the listeners, just basically right there.
You've just watched half the podcast.
Mm-hmm. It was, and I didn't really even get through all of it, so I'm excited to watch the rest of that because that is the just two of our greatest minds, competing. Really, it was incredible
for sure.
But you know what? I mean, not a lot to go off on Theo Von and Antonio Brown. We got another thing here, and it's just obviously you're in college and all, I don't even know where the fuck go on this, Gavin. You take the lead way on this one.
So what is your plans for college living for next semester? Are you staying at your house? Or are you trying to get an apartment? What are you trying to do?
And before you answer, would you name a cat fucking chicken?
Like, what? No, I wouldn't.
Okay. Thank
you. But
seems ridiculous to me.
So the college I'm going to is actually closer than the one I'm going to now. So I think I'm gonna stay at home, live there for free, and just commute every day because it is very expensive to get a apartment or like place on campus.
For sure. And then Tommy, what about you for next year? I know you're moving into a house, right?
Yeah, I've expressed it to Gavin. I am currently looking into leasing a house for next year. Just a small little, I don't know what you'd call it, like a 2-story house. It's pretty nice on space. It's cheaper than my place currently, which is kind of insane because I'm on an apartment and there's like little to no room. So getting a house would be kind of pretty nice. And it's not even really farther away from campus, so that's going to be fun. Excited to do that. That's going to be getting a backyard, a garage, and just general like larger living space will be pretty nice. And you know what? I believe I've showed this to people, and I'm thinking about making this my new living arrangement in the living room. And I want to hear the thoughts. A couch on a table behind a couch. What are the thoughts of it? Double-decker couch, if you will.
If that's what I saw yesterday, I like it.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, I watched the Super Bowl on a couch, on a table, behind a couch. That sums it up. Great, greatest spot to watch the Super Bowl I think I've ever had. Really comfy, on a couch, on a table, watching a Super Bowl, on the couch. Need I say more? But yeah, that's been. I
Fantastic.
imagine, Gavin, wherever you plan to go next year, you'll either be living in a dorm, I imagine. Just given,
I think I'm forced to pretty much everywhere. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think most places even give you much of an option. I think
Yeah. I
Iowa.
think the only one might be NIU.
Yeah, I know. I had a
I don't think
buddy,
they're too strict.
here at Iowa who didn't live in an apartment, but he was also renting out a little off campus. So I don't know. It's
Okay.
pros and cons because he gets his own space, but then again, like it's off campus and it's a little commute. But I don't know. To each
Yeah.
their own on it.
Kind of going off to college. How's the gap semester going, Connor?
It's going good. It's like I'm taking like one or two classes this semester, so just get over with for next semester, I guess you can say. But other than that, it's going good. Got a lot of time to work, but sadly, Andy, our manager, has not scheduled me a lot. Or I think I have the most hours in the company so far, other than him. But
Mhm.
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of
normally,
it, how is it working with Andy? And how is it working those long days at NCG? What's it got you? What's it got you thinking with that?
it's fine. It's a lot better this semester than it was the past two semesters when Andy had a stick up his rear end. Uh, but I get a I get a lot of time to do homework or whatever I want to do. We pretty much just sit there and on our phones the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, at I don't know, 11 in the morning at a movie theater on a weekday during school years, I mean, you don't got really anything going on. Especially
Yeah,
with
I don't know.
I don't know, there's probably not a single good movie that's came out recently.
yeah, I do not think so.
This Thursday is just Captain America and Paddington, which I
Yeah,
think Paddington will actually outnumber Captain America.
I can
Yeah.
see that happening. What was it? Paddington. The first two were like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes for the longest time.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
definitely crazy to say, given it is to summarize it, what, a movie about a bear? Just
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah,
to be
a
honest,
British bear.
I haven't seen any of them, but that's
Mm.
what it is.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
me neither. I'm assuming it's a very kids oriented film, so I know Ryan's watched
Yeah.
it. I haven't, but it's it's definitely one of those kind of movies.
Sure.
And you,
So Connor, with all this free time from your college and stuff, what video games have you been playing recently?
Honestly, I've been getting like a lot more bored very fast of video games. Like I've been playing a lot of story mode games, but not recently. I'd say one game uh, is this One Piece game on Roblox. It's called Black Fruits. And I just sit there, like, have my laptop or phone propped up, watch TV while playing it. It's, like, pretty much just brain rot. Two screens next to each other.
and you know what? I can speak as a Roblox enjoyer. Those games on Roblox are pretty heat. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of the Darius Tycoon or Darius Obby. Good map.
Yeah.
Lovely phones and parkour. Uh, Bridge Simulator, great game if you haven't played it. I know me and Gavin are getting pretty far in the map. Uh, just a lot of experience. But you know what? To hop off the Roblox train, I know we've been hopping on Rivals recently. Just
Yeah.
how do you like it? Is there a character you main, characters you hate? What are your thoughts on the game entirely?
Well, I like Overwatch. Like, it wasn't my favorite game, but then Overwatch 2 came out, played it a lot more, liked it, and then kind of stopped over time. I think when Rainbow came back into things, and then that died, and then Black Ops 6, and then now Marvel Rivals came in, and it's fun. I, I will say it is more fun than I thought it would be, but just I don't know if you guys unlocked ranked yet, but ranked is a lot more fun than casual, and uh, casual is very boring. I got bored after, I think it was like 3 games or something, but ranked, I can play a lot more of it.
And you know what? I think that's with a lot of games. Like, I know I had my Siege phase where I was going through Siege, and just casual Siege is just not as good as ranked, in my opinion. Even with pressure, it's just not as like without the pressure of casual, it's just not as good, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or I think like talking about Siege with ranked, I'd say most of the fun times I have is just messing around in ranked, not caring about our like ranks at all, even though we probably should. But we just mess around a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's the best part.
Yeah, I miss those siege nights for sure. Those were interesting.
They were they were a time. I don't think we were the best. I don't think we were, you know, doing well.
No,
The custom games though. Custom games in Siege, they're always interesting no matter what you're doing.
yeah,
You can never go wrong with a custom game.
Exactly.
not at all.
But you know what, back on the rivals thing, you know, I was talking about the mains people. You know, myself, I've been, you know, I main 2 people. I mean, Luna Snow, and Spider-Man. I know, 2 vastly different characters. Those are my 2. What 2 have you been playing on the game so far? What's your most? What do you think the most time you spent on one is?
I'd say it's for sure Punisher. Even though he's super easy, he's just super fun to play as. And then I think second most is Iron Man. Uh, just flying around, even though I do kind of suck with them. But I'd say those 2 are the most I've been playing so far. I do want to start playing Magneto though, but last time I played with him, I had no idea what I was doing. Even though he's like one of the characters from Overwatch 2. And funny enough, his name was Sigma. I think they just changed it recently though.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the characters in the game is if you don't know the skill, like you're genuinely just setting yourself up for failure. Like I was playing
Yeah.
blind for a while,
Yeah.
but you know what?
I'm currently playing Mantis the healer because our friend Ryan, as you could he's always here in spirit right there. He sucks at healing. I think we all know that. He's not a good healer, so I had to
Yeah,
step up.
I believe he told
Yeah.
me he was like, you know, I was getting like a modest like 1,500 that game, and he's like, well, I get 1,300 as in 1,300. So like, yeah, he's clearly not a good healer.
Not
So
at all.
don't have him heal on your squad, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, enough with the rivals talk. I mean, obviously a good game. I've been playing it recently. I think we've all been.
Mhm.
But another question we had for you, Connor, is kind of an open-ended one. You know, what would your dream vacation to be to go on with friends? Didn't word that correctly, but dream vacation to go on with friends. What would that think? You know?
Um, honestly, since my friend group is all around 21, I'd love to do a either Vegas trip or a cruise trip. Like, I know you guys just recently went on one, but I feel like it'll be way better when you're 21 and are able to drink everywhere you go. So, and I think there were talks of doing both of those in the next couple years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
those
know.
both sound fun.
Yeah, I know. I personally have talked about. I've talked to Gavin about it. Definitely when I'm turning 21, getting a group together, going to Nashville, or when a whole group turns 21. You know, when a lot of people I know are 21, just going to Nashville in general. I think it gets a little
Mhm.
under the radar when, as a like, you know, pit stop when you turn 21, just because it's downtown Nashville. I mean, it's an elite bar area basically.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been to Vegas and Nashville, both when I was younger, but I will say I did have more fun in Nashville than Vegas. But obviously, I was too young to do anything in
Yeah,
both of those.
yeah. I think more of Vegas comes to life definitely when you're 21, and the opportunity of drinking and gambling comes open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just think I would lose less
real
money in
fun stuff.
Nashville. So, but you know what?
Yeah,
Speaking of the cruise, I feel like I'll let Gavin elaborate the most because I feel like he has some things to say about the not being 21 on a cruise
it was
issue.
something. Um, I didn't see that. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to serve us drinks. But thankfully Bahamas came in clutch there for us, and
Amen.
it was kind of funny to see Ryan try to get us drinks and fail horrendously. That was pretty funny to watch. And I mean, I just don't see the issue. I mean, Unless you're a stupid teenager jumping off a cruise ship. I mean, at that point, you can't handle the drink. Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's my
And
thoughts on it.
you know what?
And I'm excited for Nashville. I will say that.
Yeah.
I'm so down to go to Nashville. I think some other people are interested in it for sure.
Yeah, I know Gavin hit me up on the DL about NAP possibly being interested in a Nashville trip when I turn 21. Obviously, I don't think Gavin would be able to, but I mean, you'd probably be free to come along and probably get away with most of it. But yeah, that's probably one of the trips I've talked about doing, just because I think it's one of the cheaper ones too. At the end of the day, like I think you could easily spend a weekend in Nashville cheaper than I would spend a weekend in Vegas, because I wouldn't need $100 to go gambling. That's for sure.
Yeah. And you can or I know because I've done it before. You can drive to Nashville, but you cannot drive to Vegas.
Yeah.
Or you can, but it'll take a lot.
Yeah, Nashville is definitely more of a drivable pit stop than it is anywhere else.
Get like a seaboarding in the Southwest flight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just book up, take one of those middle seats in the back of the plane. It's a fun time.
Buy it a year early, spend as much as you can on it, and just get the worst seats in the plane.
Mm-hmm. And I love it. But
Sounds like a plan.
You know what? I think we've kind of ran out of discussion points here, and you know, at this point, we got the fun parts of the podcast here, and I'm pretty excited for. Gavin's got quite the list of drafts cooked up for us, and we got a little fifth grader. Is Connor smarter than a fifth grader question, given your major you're pursuing? So we'll take a little break here, and we're gonna hop back in to some fun drafts and a nice little quiz.
All right, guys. To start off the draft segment, we're gonna be doing a top 5 of what would you buy with $1 million. And just to clarify, the money resets for each item, so it could be up to $1 million for each item. Who wants to start off?
I think
Connor's starting off.
Okay. For my first one, I would probably choose $1 million worth of lottery tickets. That way I can win a lot more money.
I like it. I like the
Good
pick.
choice.
I don't hate it. It's a snake draft too, by the way, for 5s always. And then Gavin.
All right, for my first top 5, I'm gonna take Bailey Zimmerman's Turbo Corvette.
Ooh.
Just take that from him.
Very specific.
Yeah, it's a nice car. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
No,
You know what? I haven't, but Turbo Corvette sounds like it's pretty pricey and, pretty good. And then for my one, I'm glad it's on the board. I'm glad no one was taking it. I'm gonna bet it all on black. I either have $1 million more, or I have no money. And I like the risk and the reward.
It's a good one.
And then as a snake draft, I get the second one. I got inspiration from We Bought a Zoo. I'm going to buy a zoo. And I'm specifically making it one of each animal. Just like Brookfield, keeping it just.
Yes.
Half the time, don't even put the animals out.
Yeah. Leave them say, like, it's not their season. The polar bear can't come out. It's too hot out.
Even though it's in the dead of winter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Still sitting in a cage behind the building.
They know the method. Charge
well
them like $30 to come in, see like 3 of the animals you want to see.
Yep. Don't worry, guys. 7 camels are out roaming.
Oh, look at that! The herd of 3 zebras is roaming.
I think for my second, I'm gonna have to take a lifetime supply of canes. That'd be very nice.
I enjoy the pick. It's definitely, you're playing the smart route here. And you know what? I would argue canes is definitely up there for one of the best foods.
Number 2 and 3 for me, they kind of go along with each other. Number 2, I'd do 2 2024 all black Mazdas.
Oh, I like it.
You could buy a whole lot more than 2. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want me to toss down a third one on here just for safekeepings?
Yeah.
And then 3, I know we have a fellow racist in here, so I'd buy part of a race car team.
I like it. Yep. As a fellow racist, I really support the pick.
I'm also wearing a race shirt.
Wow, we got
Awesome.
2 racists in one
I don't
call.
watch it though. 2 racist, 1 call.
That's like a segue. Chat, for 50 followers, we're gonna watch 2 girls, 1 cup live reaction. Yeah, but Gavin, you're up on the 3
With Ryan.
with Ryan.
Going off the Ryan, since we just mentioned it, I'm gonna buy out the real estate of every carpio and then demolish the home.
I really enjoy the pick.
Good pick right there.
I think the people will know what I say when I'm typing this one out. Except
It's a good cover.
it's it's an out of the box answer and I like it. And speaking of out of the box, this one's gonna take me a sec to type out. So my third one, I'm gonna create a crypto coin. I'm gonna inflate with money, then mass sell it for profit. And for short, I'm gonna call this Huck to a coin. I just like the idea. I think it's a good way of expanding my profit. And then for the fourth one,
At least she's donating all the money to animals, though. That's something.
Yeah, they're gonna go to my zoo. That's where this money will go.
Yeah.
But for my 4, I'm gonna do this is more realistic, like what someone would actually do. I'm gonna probably buy United Center box seat tickets, like what would it be? Box seat season tickets for the Hawks and Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Gavin, back up on the 4.
This one's a little boring, but I love it. I like a yacht. Nice little
I don't mind
yacht
it.
up in Florida.
I think that's how you know.
Miami, Florida, maybe.
Yeah. You know what? I'll specify. I'll give you a location. I think where you put your yacht definitely adds to it. If you put a yacht in Alaska, you might be retarded. But Connor, 4 and 5.
4. I know they used to sell these actually, but it's unlimited airplane tickets.
Oh, I like it.
It's just 1 ticket, and you can use it for as many times as you want forever.
Yeah, it's definitely a useful thing.
And then,
You won't have to worry about sea boarding. I'll tell you what. It's definitely a rough one.
5. What do I want for? Give me a RV, like just a plain RV.
You know what? I've always wanted an RV. Obviously, I never had one. But RVs are pretty sick, and they don't get the credit.
Yeah.
Especially one of the luxury RVs are like expensive as fuck and just really nice. Like genuinely better than some houses I've seen.
You can make them luxurious for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Gavin,
for my number 5, this is probably the most important to me. Saving the best for last, really.
Mm-hmm.
I donate $1 million to a female right activist groups.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
And that's truly noble of you. I wish we had more people that were willing to, fight for a cause like that.
It's the least I could do.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I'm glad to see someone's participating in it. And I kind of went something similar for that for my 5. I'm going to purchase an apartment complex and then gradually increase the rents for the residents to also increase my profit. Which
That's a good one. Oh man,
I really thought it was a great one. Just not enough people doing it, and then
there's a lot of greedy people trying to rent properties. Sometimes you just have to look out for the renters or for the people renting the buildings.
And you know what? I bought a property in Egypt, and what they give to you with the property is just something like that. But here is our final list. I'm really enjoying. I think this is our most creative list so far ever on the podcast so far. It's definitely out of the ordinary. You know, I'll zoom in for those trying to see it right there. Just get a little clearer picture. You know, make sure to vote in the polls after all our drafts are done to let us know who had the best overall list. But that was
Mhm.
our top 5 of what was the category? What would you do with $1 million? And then for our
Mhm.
next one, Gavin, you want to introduce the next category we got for the draft?
Of course. So for our next one, we're gonna be doing top 5 superheroes and villains based off aura. So yeah, we'll be doing that after Tommy resets it here.
Yeah, it's giving me a bit of the trouble right
So we
now.
have some issues.
All right, there we go. And I think we'll change it
All
up and we'll start with Gavin. I don't think Gavin has the. I think Gavin might have the one of the least knowledges here, so I feel like it's a fair, you know, give him
Oh, for
one.
sure, yeah.
You know, sometimes I don't know
So
if it's
Shazam.
Shazam. I like the number one pick of Shazam. Uh, you know what? Part of me would feel like giving Gavin the entire 1 through 5 in the beginning, just off that start. Uh, I don't think I'm going to because I want to keep the normal list rolling here.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take him off the list immediately. I'm gonna take Batman. You know, I don't want him to fall too low here. And then Connor, you're getting the 1 and 2 in this one.
I was gonna pick Batman, but first round I'm gonna pick Doctor Doom
I enjoy it.
because Doctor Doom's a badass.
I'm excited to see
And
if he gets live action pretty well.
yeah,
That was my
I hope
actual
so.
number one. Just to let you know.
And number 2, I'm gonna say comic Norman Osborn, aka Green Goblin, because in the comics he has some nasty waves. He's just drowning in them.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna leave it at Norman. I feel like we know who it is. Green Goblin, obviously. Yeah, I like the 2 villains. Doctor Doom's tough as hell. Obviously, I think I know the one comic clip where like the him and Thanos just ends that in a second, basically.
Yeah.
And then Green Goblin just a menace. You know, the helmet's speaking to him. That's what it is. It's
Mhm.
but it's back to me with the 2. I'm you know, it's on the board and I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take Spider-Man on the 2. I'm gonna fight off your Norman Osborn with Spider-Man.
That's
Just
my next pick.
just an OP character. I can't leave him. I can't let him fall. I think the
Uh,
1 and the 2 are your 2 I think of.
Yeah.
for my second, I'm gonna take Daredevil.
I like it.
I'm a big fan of Daredevil.
Good pick.
Um,
Better than Shazam.
Yeah. Shocked you went
so,
Shazam before Daredevil. That's the part that surprises me.
and then for my next one, I'm gonna take Black Panther.
That's also another one that should have gone
Another
before
one better than
Shazam.
Shazam.
I just had to get it off the board.
Oh, and we're in caps lock. Looks like we're getting a little Kanye in here. But no, two good picks. It's a shame you started off with Shazam. That could have gone in the 5. Uh, but you know what? I'm gonna take this guy off the board because I don't know. I feel like I don't think Connor's gonna pick him, but I'm keeping him in this list. I'm just gonna take Invincible. I've fucked with the comics, the show so heavily so far. I'd be unjust for me to not take him.
Yeah, I was thinking more of DC and Marvel.
I was
Yeah.
shouting out any. I feel like I got to keep him in my list somehow.
My next 2, number 3, I'm gonna go Ghost Rider. I think that's pretty
Solid pick.
simple.
Yeah.
And then to go along with Ghost Rider and Invincible, I'm gonna go Spawn. I don't know if you know who Spawn is, but he's probably one of the most coolest anti-heroes
Yeah.
ever.
I like the pick. Back to me for the 4. And you know, this is probably more niche to me. I don't know how much you guys will appreciate it. I'm taking Nightwing. I think
I
easily
can see it.
one of my favorite DC superheroes.
Favorite Robin
Yeah.
for me.
And then it's back on to Gavin for 4 and the 5 to end off his list.
So for 4, I'm gonna take Deadpool. I think he's a really good character.
I like it.
And then for my 5, I'm gonna take I had to take a comic, Teen Titans Go Raven.
You know, I didn't expect that one to be honest. I don't mind it, but I didn't expect it.
For my Ryan fans out there,
Yeah.
Raven.
Uh, and you know what? I think I'll end off my list in like a similar fashion. I'm gonna take. Let's see here. Which I'm just gonna take Starfire just to like fully
Okay.
keep that list on Nightwing and Starfire ending it. Oh, you know, OG duo. Probably the original Invincible and Adam Eve. If you think, well, actually, I don't know which ones before each other, but basically, I mean, the same concept.
Mhm.
Yeah, those Nightwing and Starfire were first.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much the same. Blue and black versus just someone that's entirely pink and ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of similar. Never thought about it until now.
Well, my number 5 was Spider-Man, but the black suit version. But I'll go with the Sultan of Speed, the Flash himself.
I like it.
Probably the only
I,
character that has a better nickname than Batman.
yeah, I would give him the credit. But I like how these lists came out. I'm shocked Shazam made it #1 on Gavin's, but I do enjoy it.
He's
Here
underrated.
is a little closer up of our list.
I was
And
between Shazam and Black Adam. I think Shazam took it.
you know what? They're both pretty close. I think I would have personally give it to Black Adam overall. I don't know. They're kind of I mean they're basically the similar concepts of just
Yeah, they're basically the same character.
yep. But here we are on to our first round of top threes. Just a 1-1-1, 2-2-2 draft, 3-3, same thing.
Hmm.
I believe we start off with me giving the order. And Gavin, you want to introduce the
Yeah.
category?
Yes, we're going to be doing top 3 Lego brands. As you can see, Connor's a big Lego guy. He has the Venator set right behind him. And
And
we're
this
just gonna go-
shelf right here is where the rest of mine are. Or there's a couple others spread out, but that's where most of them are.
Yeah. And you know what? Since Connor's after me and I see the set in the back, I'm not gonna take Star Wars for one. I personally was never like huge Star Wars. However, I did have a lot of DC Lego sets, so I'm gonna go DC,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna give Connor probably. I imagine he's gonna take Star Wars in the one.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
I like the DC pick though. There's a lot of older DC sets that are really good, but
Yeah.
sadly, recently there's not been a lot
no,
that's been pumping out.
no, but I've just known I've always gone more DC, I think, than Star Wars. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
they're obviously both really good, but
yeah.
and then Gavin with the one.
Ooh. Just so many pop into my head right now. I just really can't pick one. DC, Star Wars. Is there a Marvel?
There is a
Yes,
Marvel.
there.
Yeah, I'll take the Marvel.
He's taking the Marvel. I'm having a sense, Gavin, not a big Lego
Yeah.
expert on these ones.
I actually do like Legos, but I can't afford Legos at
Yeah.
all.
I feel like
So
that's
they
a
are way
common
too-
relation.
I can hardly afford them. I'm not sure how I have that set behind me.
Yeah. For my number 2, I'm gonna take easily one of the best, you know, Lego original things, TV show, movie. I'm gonna take Ninjago. That
That's a good one.
I had a lot of Ninjago. I enjoyed Ninjago Lego sets as a kid.
I kind of imagine I know a lot more about Legos than you guys. So my next one is gonna be Lego ideas. That's where like a lot of like fan ideas come from for Lego.
I like it. I was scrolling the Lego site before just to look up some inspiration for some of these, but I did see ideas, and that looked like a good one. And then back on to Gavin for his second Lego selection.
Yeah, I'll just take there's just so many. I'll take Disney. Yeah, Disney
That's a solid
branded
choice.
It's a choice.
More little kids now, but
Yeah.
back in the day, I think there were some sets.
And you know what? I've gotten my basically my 1 and 2. Obviously, Star Wars was 1 and 2, or Star Wars was the one in my
Yeah.
opinion, but I never really resonated with it as much, so I didn't pick it. Uh, I've got 3 on here. And you know what? For the sake of not the joke, I'm gonna go the Jurassic World ones. Or Jurassic Park, I mean, same thing basically at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Uh I
Again, n- not a lot been pumping out.
yeah.
I really enjoyed those sets though.
Yeah, I really messed with dinosaurs as Legos. It was an interesting idea. Definitely innovational. And then Connor
And
back
then
on the 3.
for my three, hmm, I kind of have three that are equal to me. One just popped up, but I'll go Lego architecture.
I like that one. I think the idea behind this one is pretty self-explanatory or explanatory.
Yeah,
Exactly how you
currently
spell architecture.
currently sitting next to a $250 Notre Dame Cathedral
Mm,
or Notre Dame Cathedral.
very nice. Yeah, no, definitely the price of Legos that have definitely, put me off on buying some of them for sure.
Yeah,
So
Great.
for my third, I actually am between two.
I know
Off
the
of
two.
coolness or fun. I think I'm gonna go for and I did look this up, so it is actually
Yep.
it's the speed type of Legos. It's race cars, F1, stuff like that. And then yeah, I was between that and then Harry Potter because I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but those look fun to build.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the picks. I'll give you both of them. Uh the race car ones are definitely really good. I'm a fan of it. Just to shout out some that weren't selected. Minecraft and Fortnite were not selected in the Legos categories. I just thought that was a little surprising because they made it in my 5 and 6 in case some of mine got picked. But
I'm just not a fan of the Minecraft ones, and I kind of forgot the Fortnite ones were even a thing.
yeah, you know what? They're definitely under the radar. They're definitely not the
Is it just
greatest.
characters for the Fortnite ones?
I
No,
believe.
Needed.
Yeah,
there's a Loot Llama, Battle Bus, Durburger, I believe,
yeah.
and those are the only ones I know for sure.
There's definitely some bigger sets though. I'd imagine just with the partnership. But here's a close up of our list, and this is the top 3 Lego. What would you say this is? Categories? Lego categories?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lego
Brands,
categories.
genres.
And then while I switch and delete these, we're on to our 4th and final draft category. Gavin, do you want to
Yeah.
introduce that to the people?
Yeah, I'm a lot more knowledgeable on this one. We're gonna be doing top 3 Bruno Mars songs.
I'm
There is a
excited
lot
for
to
this.
choose from. I'm excited to see this. Yeah.
I think we're all really excited for this one I think this is the best one so far. And Connor, you have the luxury for the last one to be the first to select.
I don't know if it's recency bias, but I'm gonna go "Die with a Smile" as
It,
my
w-
number one.
it was on my list, so I'll give it's a good song. Maybe
I've been
recency
listening
hitting
it.
it, but yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to it a lot lately, and it's a banger.
I'm gonna have to go with for my number one. Uh, When I Was Your Man. That is that is
That's your
a
number.
fantastic Bruno Mars song.
Yep. Caps lock on again. I don't mind the pick. You know what? It's hard to not pick a good Bruno Mars song. I'll tell you what. If you're just looking at his discography, you rarely find ones that are shit. Uh,
Yeah.
and you know what? For my number one, I think I explained this. I think my favorite one. I'm gonna take Grenade. I
Oh,
It's a classic.
yeah.
that's gonna be either my next or last one.
I really Grenades. Just number one in my opinion for Bruno Mars. Favorite song there. And then Connor on with the 2.
My number two, it's probably one of my favorites from him, and it was didn't think of it for a while, but "Marry You."
That's a good one.
"Marry You's"
That is a
just
really good one.
just
Yep.
gotta put everything down and sing along to it.
I mean, you can't see, but I had that one on my list. I'm crossing it off. That was a good one. Gavin with the 2.
My two, I'm gonna go Locked Out of Heaven.
Another good one. Another good pick. This is a tough list to fight here. This might be the closest list of all the ones we've had.
I agree.
For my three, I think I'm gonna take "Talking to the Moon." Another
good
Bruno
one.
Mars song that makes me all of a sudden think I could sing, and then you try and you're like, "Holy shit, how does he do it?"
Yeah.
And then Connor, finishing off your list here with the three. What do you got?
My last one, I'm gonna go with "Just the Way You Are."
Oh my god, that was mine.
Listen to it.
I really
Back
like
in
that
the
one.
day.
Yeah, it's definitely a great one. Man, this is tough.
Man, I really like. Okay, I'll just do the Lazy song. It's a good
I
one.
don't mind it. It's not like on his normal thing, but it is a really good one.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's still a good song, but in my opinion, it's a little overrated. But I still like the song.
I think I'm going off. I loved it as a kid so much.
Yeah.
Like growing up.
Yeah,
Like
I
now
can
it's like
see that.
yeah, but
Man,
I really like Nothing on You. It's technically featuring Bruno Mars, so I didn't
Yeah.
pick that one, but that one is really good.
I
You
think
know
"Die
what?
with a Smile's also featuring him, but he sings a lot of it.
Yeah, I think that's more of a technically like shared single between them.
Mhm.
Or at least I mean it's his number one on Spotify because I'm looking at it right now. Speaking of features, I was thinking of picking Mirror, but I'm pretty sure that's a feature of him. I thought Mirror is up there as one of a really good song he has. Not like up there in the best, but it's a good one. Man, I'm just trying to look for there is You know what? I'm gonna take
I
it.
know one that Jimmy would be on.
I don't know if he's picking this one, but I'm just gonna pick Count on Me. Just
Okay.
I think it's a
That's
good one. It's a classic one I think
Yeah,
of.
I like it.
Mhm.
I was thinking
I
of
think
for a second taking like Leave the Door Open. But I want Count on Me
yeah.
instead. What was the
Yeah, I
one you were
think
thinking of?
it would have been interesting to have Jimmy on this one because I know he probably would have took Gorilla for sure. And then is it called Versace in the floor? Or is
I think
oh
so.
no, that's leave the door open, I think. But that's the lyrics in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would have been interesting.
Yeah, no, I Leave the Door Open is another
Yeah.
good one, but I just only know it from like the one like Leave the Door Open line, nothing really else about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here is our final list of Bruno Mars songs. Make sure to vote in the poll who had the best one. This is a tough. This might be the toughest one, just given how they're all like
Yeah.
good songs.
It's
They're all
probably
really
our
good, yeah.
closest one.
Yeah, it's hard to compete on that one.
Sure.
But with that, I've turned off my camera instead. With that, that is all our drafts. And while we take a quick break to set up the next segment, yeah, fuck it. I don't know where I'm going with this. Here we are, setting up the next segment, so we'll be right back.
All right, guys. So we will be doing a little quiz on Connor here. Is Connor smarter than a fifth grader? Just some background on this. He's going into elementary education, so we thought it'd be fun to do a little quiz like this.
All right.
Tom, if you want to take it away.
Yeah, Connor, you ready to go?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, and I will mention he does get one phone call to Ryan Carpio.
Yes. Ryan Carpio will be his savior if he picks up the phone. If not, I guess you could just call whoever. But
It's 100 points for everyone he gets right.
yeah. All right. Question number 1. A female deer is called what? A, dawn, B, doe, C, just a deer, or D, daisy?
Okay. I think doe is a baby deer. So I'm gonna go. It's either B or C. I don't think it's Dawn, and it's definitely not Daisy. But I think doe is a baby deer, so I'm just gonna go C, just a deer.
All right. For 100 points, is it just C, just a deer? It was doe.
Oh, damn it!
So we are.
I knew. Oh, yeah.
On the first question, we might be down
That's all
some
right.
points.
First grade might be a challenge.
You know what? I
I
also
knew
got it
was
wrong.
one of them.
I
It was one of the two.
I also got it wrong. So I mean, I feel like it's a fair
Yeah.
reasoning. But we're on to question number 2. Zero. Currently at 0 points. I'll be keeping score here on the
Going
side here.
0 for 5 here. 0 for 5 here.
All right. Next question. Question number 2 for first grade. What color is an emerald? Is it A, green, B,
85.
blue, C, black,
Go A, green.
D, red?
You're gonna go A, green. Final answer.
Final answer. And it's correct. He's got 100 points on the board.
How was that? One first grade and your first grade.
It's a good answer, you know, and we're moving on with 100 points. It's a shame the first one did not go too well. But on to the next question, and we're making our way to the second grade, and we're going to up the point value to 150 for the second grade questions. So this question is, how many sides does a hexagon have? Is it A5,
Go.
B6, C7, or D8?
I'm gonna go B. Final answer 6.
B6.
It's either
Is it the
6 or
correct
8.
answer? It is 150. So you're now up to 250 in points
That's
right now.
right there.
And then on to your second grade question here. What is the capital of France? Is it A, London, B, Rome, C, Madrid, or D, Paris?
I'm gonna go with the only whatever city in France. So I'm gonna go D, Paris.
And he's going for D, Paris. Is it the correct answer? It is. I don't think we're surprised on
It
that
is.
one. You're now up to 400 points, and I believe we're gonna move on from the second grade questions here, and we're moving fast to the third grade. We narrowly got pushed forward on the first, but here we are for the third grade. What planet is known as the red planet? Is it A, Jupiter, B, Mercury, C, Mars, or D, Venus? And this is now 200 points.
I have to call Ryan on this.
I know Ryan is for those who know, Ryan is an environmental engineer, so obviously he's studying the space and stars and the surroundings.
Yes.
Screw it. I'm gonna go C, Mars.
C,
Final
Mars,
answer.
final answer. And it's correct, C, Mars. We're now up to 600 points. On to our second question here. What is not a music clef? Is it A, alto, B, ches, C, bass, or D, treble?
Well, as a man who is in music since 4th grade, I think they made us do. We started it. I'm gonna go A, alto. No, I'm joking, guys. Don't worry. I'm not that dumb. I'm not Brian Carpiel. I'm gonna go B as final answer.
B, ches, final answer. And no surprise, it's correct. Now up to 800 points here. Moving on to the 4th grade, one below 5th. I would say, you know what, Connor, you're close to being smarter than the 5th grader right now. And let's move on to the 4th grade question.
Too bad I'm not as smart as the 1st grader who knew that it was a dough.
Which country is Mount Everest located in? Is it A, Russia, B, Nipples, C, Japan, or D, the United States? This is for 250.
I'm gonna go Ryan's nipples on this one.
Final answer?
Yes, final answer.
And I feel like the whole audience could have gotten this. Ryan's nipples does house Mount Everest. Everyone should have known this. And now,
yes, sir.
That now puts you at 1,005 or 1,050 points here. Moving on to your second 4th grade question. What is not a factor of 6? Is it A, 24, B, 56, C, 72, or D, 90? A little tricky math here for the second 4th grade question. Not so tricky if you're a 4th grader, though.
I'm gonna go B56. Final answer.
Final answer B56. It's correct. You're moving on
He's
to
right.
You're moving on to the 5th grade. You've got 1,300 right now. Let's see if you can keep tallying up the points. Every points are worth 300 for this next round. Let's see how you do. Next question is, which of these is a hyperbole? Hyperbole. Jesus. Is it A, she eats horse meat, B, I am a horse, C, the horse is eating, D, I could eat a horse, or E, horses should be used instead of cars?
As a joke, I should go with E. But as a serious guess, since I suck at English, I'm gonna go D. I'm going D.
D,
I think it's gonna be wrong though.
D, I could eat
No,
a horse?
D. As in
Oh,
Diedrich. As in Andrew Diedrich.
all right. Final answer?
I think so.
All right.
It might be B, but I'm going D.
Is the answer D? It's correct. You're now at 1,600
Oh.
points. On to the last 5th
That's a good
grade
one.
question here. And are you ready to go and advance to this last one?
Yes, I am.
All right, here we go. What is the largest organ inside the human body? Is it A, liver, B, heart, C, stomach, or D, lungs?
Some people think it's the heart because in the Grinch heart grew, what was it, 3 times as big?
Mhm.
I think it was 3 times as big.
Yeah, it was.
But-
He had quite a change of heart, they would say.
Of these options, it's either C or D. Is the stomach counting like all the intestines and stuff?
I believe it's just the stomach itself. So not because
Okay.
those are different organs. It's your large intestine and small
Mhm.
intestine. So it's just the stomach.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I'm gonna go D then.
Final answer.
D for lungs. Final answer.
All right. Is it D, lungs? Unfortunately, it was the liver.
No.
I
And
didn't realize it was that big.
you've ended
Yeah, I
with
didn't
16.
think so either.
That's the last 5th grade question, and you've ended with 1,600, and you needed 2,000 to pass. But luckily for you, there is a bonus question
Oh.
worth 400 points to just get you to pass. Are you ready to answer that question?
Yes, I am.
All right. To pass, is Connor smarter than a 5th grader? You just need a correct answer to this question. And that question is, what color is Ryan's bowling ball?
Are you kidding me? I have
Is
no
it-
idea.
Is it A, blue, green, and black, B, black and blue, C, neon green, or D, gray? Keep in mind, you have a lifeline.
I will be using my lifeline.
And he's going to use the lifeline to call Ryan up.
Okay. I'm calling him. You ready?
I'm ready. Put it as close to your mic as you can.
On speaker.
He might be polishing it as we speak.
Man, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good. I failed on the quiz, but they gave me a redemption question. What is the color of Ryan's bowling ball? I'll give you the options. Blue, green, and black. Black and blue. Neon green and gray. It's a toughie. That's a toughie.
Mm. Odd coming from the guy who owns the ball.
Well, I was thinking they could be colored, but then I was thinking gray. That suits Ryan as a gray bowling ball. I have to agree with you on gray bowling ball. Okay, neon green, final answer.
All right.
Okay, are you gonna tell me? So gray? You think it's gray?
I do believe so, yes.
Okay. Ryan thinks it's gray, so I'm gonna follow his lead and go gray. Final answer.
Gray, final answer. Locked in. You need 2,000 points to pass the quiz. You're at 1,600. 400 points on the line. Is it gray? Nope, I'm not clicked on it. Is it gray?
Is it right?
It's gray.
Yes,
It is.
yes, I do. Thank you, Ryan.
Answer needed to win the game, and you got it. You got the lifeline, and buzzer beater of a win right there.
I just want everyone to know I hung up on Ryan while he was mid-sentence talking. Just pointing that out there for all the viewers.
I love it. And for those who want to know, Ryan's bowling ball was gray as the correct answer. If you're looking to steal it, it's a gray bowling ball. You'll find it.
In his trunk. He keeps it in his trunk at all times in case it's needed.
But that is our Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader quiz. And you know what? You showed up and you showed hard. It was quite the quiz. We're glad to see you win it with going into education here. And you know what? That was the last game we had for the pod. And you know what? As we do on all our pods so far, we like to end it with a little question. Gavin, take it away.
Yeah, so today's question of the pod, it's a controversial one. I can see both ends of it for sure. Who is more likable, Oprah Winfrey or Ryan Carpio? I think Oprah Winfrey.
It gets you to sit
More
there.
likable?
Yeah.
Well, you got to outweigh your pros and cons. Oprah gives out free stuff. Ryan's not an unbearable
Hates
bitch.
free stuff.
Oh, see, we went two different ways here. Yeah. I like it. She gives out free stuff. Ryan takes the free stuff. She's a bitch. Ryan. I mean, you just gotta.
You really have to think of it.
I'll also point out, Oprah, her and The Rock were begging for people to donate money to a cause, even though both of them are billionaires. And Ryan is begging for money once we ask him to buy us food. So I like both of them for a good cause, but one is just selfish, in my opinion, and that is Ryan Carpio.
It's a good choice.
I like the reasoning behind it. It just makes sense.
Are we all going with Oprah Winfrey is more likable then?
I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oprah Winfrey was more likely to give me a car than Ryan, so I'm gonna go Oprah Winfrey off that logic. As in, if I look under my seat, there might be a car there. If I look under my seat with Ryan, I don't know what's there. It's not gonna be good. But that was the pod there. You know, Connor, it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
Of course, we will definitely have to have Connor on again at some point, maybe with some other people. It will definitely be interesting.
I hope to be invited again. It was very fun.
And you know what?
Hopefully I can get on with the last guest, that Logan Weaver fellow. He was a lot better than the first guest.
Yeah, we kind of ignored the first one. That was kind of just a tester.
I think ideally, hopefully here in the future, we could get an in-person podcast. I could see that being a good time here with a big group.
Nick Posmick did put in a request to be the first in-person guest. So
I love it.
We work out the details on that. We got Nick Posmick on that.
Yeah, a little teaser for the audience. We got NCG's Nap as a possible guest coming in here soon as in person. Love to see that come to fruition. But yeah, no, it's a pleasure having you on the pod, Connor. Any final messages you got for the people here?
Not really. Other than to go buy some Legos and waste all of your money. Because then you can be happy.
Yes, sir.
Love it. And this has been the Sigma Times podcast. And we're signing off. We'll see you. Make sure to follow, comment, vote on the poll. Tell us what we did or how we did.
Rate us.
Yeah, rate us from 1 being extremely good looking to 10 being also extremely good looking. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, do all that, and we'll see you guys next time. Signing off.